Oh, greetings. Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for taking the time out of your day for this. I know you're busy.
No, thanks for involving me, man. Always enjoy doing stuff like this.
So how are you today? Hopefully day's been going good.
I just crawled out of bed.
Oh, you just crawled out of bed? What time is it over there?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Yeah, the like late night fun night.
Yeah, I was up all night just putting stuff together for my Templar, actually.
Okay. How many? Well, before I guess, let me introduce you to everybody listening in or sorry, they're tuning in now. So this is you are Christopher ESOU.
Oh, are we live?
Yeah, we're live as well. For the podcast.
Okay. No, I knew that.
Okay. All right. Anyway, yeah, it's yeah, but yeah, this is Christopher ESOU, one of the probably, I think right now the most well-known PvP content creator. I've actually used a few of your builds before in the past, actually, especially what was that one? The Magic Nightblade, the Torgs. That was pretty fun. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the Magblade.
Oh yeah, it was yeah, it's really fun. So thank you for that. So if you guys are curious about PvP or builds, definitely check him out on both YouTube and Twitch. But yeah, so I guess tell us about yourself. Let's say we're just like sitting at the table having some wine and cheese, and I don't know. Who are you? Like who would you like? Who would you be to the people watching you for the first time? Or I guess what would you like to be known as, or who would you like to be known as?
Oh man, I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
A big part of my job is like, it's selfish in a way, but I I love doing what I do because I get to play the game that I love and share, ideas of it with other people. So at the end of the day, I just want to be someone that gets paid to do what I do.
and by job, like you mean like content creator, right? Both YouTube, Twitch, and
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I like it when I can share ideas with people. They don't need to walk away thinking anything about me.
That's a good attitude, though.
Yeah, I don't know. If I wanted to be famous, I would have played Fortnite.
I mean, you can still be famous playing ESO. Look at
Yeah, okay, sure, but like let's say the end goal was like lots of fame and fortune, right?
Right.
Yeah. There's other games I think that have a little bit more opportunity. Not that ESO is terrible, but
So how long have you been playing ESO?
Since it came out.
So basically since
played
launch.
Beta a little bit.
And beta, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I really, I played a lot of Guild Wars 2 before, so when ESO came out, it was a very, very cool game. I just remember like the first time I played it, and I thought to myself, there is no MMO like this at all. So yeah, I fell in love with the combat. PvP just, I don't know. Early PvP was a huge riot, man. There was some really broken stuff.
I like that. Yeah, I remember some of that broken stuff, like MagDK's.
Yeah, it's just like, I think every class, well, MagDK had a lot going for it that was broken, but every class kind of had something that was a little broken that you had to abuse early on in order to be really successful, because everybody was kind of using the broken stuff. It was a good time. I don't know. It was a good time back then because people were just learning stuff, and it's kind of a different attitude. I think nowadays everybody knows, kind of what they can and can't do. There's like a few hidden builds maybe that people haven't discovered yet, but
and you know about these hidden builds?
No.
Well, then how do you know they're hidden?
Oh, I don't know. I just assume I don't know them all. I think that's a good attitude to have.
True. That's pretty, especially PvP is so open-ended.
Well, yeah, there's
so many variables compared to PvE.
Yeah, PvE is a very much, it's not that it's like not PvP doesn't PvE doesn't benefit creativity in your build, unfortunately, because it's like measured by a number.
Right.
And if you get creative, you can end up lacking in that department simply because you're not doing the best option available to you. And PvP, you have a lot more flexibility. It's not just how much DPS can you pull, and that's strictly like the measurement of your build success. So you have so much you can do. And, yeah.
How do you define success doing PvP?
Sorry?
How do you define success in PvP then?
I guess, you know, not dying, getting a kill.
Well, I mean,
Basics.
like, I know a lot of endgame play PvPers who are like, well, I mean, why did they bring this 100k health block build? You know, they're not doing anything. Like, they're not killing anyone, but they're at the same time not dying. Would that constitute as a success?
I don't. Yeah, I think so. I don't like to smack down other people's playstyle. I think that, especially like open world PvP, I'm a solo player and I'm incredibly aware of my bias as a solo player. I know that when I say and do things, it shows sometimes, but I know it's there too. And I think, you know, if someone's like, why do they play these 100k tank? They're just not really aware of their bias as a solo player or small group player or whatever. Because if they were playing in a group of 30, they would definitely see the value of that tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a tank like that, you know, I don't think in a one-on-one has much use, sure. But if you're in a 20-on-20 fight, all of a sudden a tank becomes an incredibly useful thing to have. You can use them to body block. You can sit in a gap and hold people still where any other build would just die. And that's a huge deal in a PvP fight, I think. So yeah, when I like see, you know, other people's builds like 100k tank or whatever, and I've played builds, you know, all over the place too. Success is kind of defined by whatever the build you're playing is supposed to be able to do in PvP, and I think as long as you're helping your group or yourself with your build, you're doing great. I don't know, you don't have to win every fight. That's not realistic.
Right. That's a pretty cool perspective compared to other perspectives I've encountered in endgame PvP. It's basically you have to win not win every fight, but how should I say this?
Yeah,
there's like a certain
code.
It's true. There's like a certain code. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah,
we can probably get into
it's
that
like
later. It's
like a PvP thing. I don't know. There's a lot of like some people take a lot of pride in whether they win or lose fights. And I understand that. You know, when I started playing, I used to care a lot about winning and losing fights, like way back in the day. And then it like kind of dawned on me that like I was never going to learn anything unless I was willing to put myself in a situation where I'd be at disadvantage and I'd be losing fights against people that maybe I could beat normally if I wasn't playing, you know, trying out this new build style that didn't work at all. I've been there a lot of times. And
Right.
I don't know. I think when people have like that really elitist kind of attitude, it kind of hinders their own growth to a degree.
We have some comments from chat. Like, let's see. I love his how to learn PvP videos. Great stuff. Christopher is clearly a man of morals and values. Did I cut out? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Where did I leave you at? We have some comments from chat. I love Christopher's how to learn PvP videos. Great stuff. Christopher is clearly a man of morals and values, which is why he doesn't play Fortnite.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, actually, speaking of your videos, I think you are. I don't know. Like, at least I encountered you through this, but I think a lot of people know you for the top 5 or top 10 or top 15 you know, best PvP moments / clips, right? And that seems pretty popular on your channel. And I'm actually I've actually always wanted to ask you this. And so the history of the whole, you know, top 5 top 10 PvP thing started with Lefty Lucy way back in the day. Way back, and it was a resounding success for him. And then he kind of, after he left for Black Desert Online or wherever else he went to, he handed it to Cody PvP, and Cody kind of did a couple or a few videos of it, and then of course he went with
10 or 15.
Right. Yeah, he kind of went away with Cypher and King Richard and them to like For Honor and Fortnite. Clearly not a men of honor or morals. But and then I'm kind of curious, like, did Cody approach you and was like, hey, I'm gonna pass this off to you? Oh no, he didn't?
By the time Cody had left ESO, there was about a year-long period where there was no top 5.
No top 5. Okay.
No one had done it.
So
it was just kind of like open.
Okay.
And
that's cool.
I won't get super far into it, but Cody had left ESO and he wasn't going to come back.
Right.
It was kind of like people knew, you know. So I don't know, you know, I always wanted to do it. Before Cody did it, I had wanted to do it too. And I'm not going to lie, if Cody had kept doing it, I would have done my own. Not out of like, you know, I'm all about competition, man. If someone can do a better job, then come along and do a better job. That's literally the world, right?
Right.
And I liked how Cody did it, but I knew like this. I know I wanted to do this. I just always knew. I love calling games and stuff. So yeah, after the opportunity kind of presented itself, I just took it and ran with it, and people supported it. So I'm happy that they did.
I mean, that's pretty fantastic that you picked it up. I mean, I think a lot of people missed it. They missed the commentary, and everyone enjoyed Lefty Lucy's commentary, and now they're enjoying your commentary a lot.
Yeah, it's, you know, I really liked how Lefty did it. It was a really cool idea from him, but a lot of my inspiration is like other YouTubers and stuff that do game commentary for like other games. I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
I just always like really wanted to get into this, and then after what I do here now, I would love to one day be like a game commentator. You know, calling like professional esports. Oh,
like casters. You want to be a caster? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What kind of games are you looking at for that? Like Overwatch?
I don't know.
Or
anything I know how to play.
Okay. Well, what do you know to play right now besides ESO?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I can play RuneScape. I could do some of that.
All right. Yeah, actually, I saw
mind
you play
that
RuneScape. That was pretty funny. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a pretty cool story that you picked up the top 5. I always kind of figured, oh, Cody must have just passed it off to him, but then now you're telling me, oh, I just picked it up. I go, oh, that's
no, cool. You know, me and Cody, we got along really well. We never hung out that much though, so I didn't really know him super well.
Okay.
It's, you know, it's just kind of, I think, how content creators kind of go to. Sometimes they're just like normal people, right? Sometimes they're very sociable and they want to talk with everybody, and then other times, you know, I find a lot of content creators, most of the time actually, are really nice, but they're pretty reserved and kind of keep to themselves.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You know, he actually came back briefly, Cody did, for just some music. I remember, I think this was like after last year's mid-year, right after he came back. And,
oh, really?
Yeah. I actually encountered him in Cyrodiil, and I tuned into his stream.
Wow.
And just for like a moment, and he was so confused because he was actually canceling out the in cap because in cap now has a cast time, and it didn't used to. And he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And then after that, I guess he got sick of it. It's like, what is this cast time? Oh yeah,
that's funny, man. Yeah, I know. It was a different game back when he left too, and
yeah, it was very.
Coming back, there'd be a lot of changes. You know,
very different, yeah.
And then even more, you know, going forward with the whole CP rework and everything. Interesting.
I guess sort of as a transition, we're headway into that. What do you? I guess it's been a controversial topic for some time now, and it's kind of died down, I guess, at least from my perspective as a class rep. But what do you think about the cast times on certain skills and abilities? Do you think it's helped, or it's been more negative than positive? It's
been a long time, yeah.
Yeah,
those are very like permanent changes now, I think. But you know, ESO's gone a lot of different ways over the years, you know, and watched the game change, and you have too, kind of, as we've just played it. And I really like PvP, and for the longest time, PvP is about two things, I think, when you're fighting. Number one, you have to be reacting really quickly to what your opponent is doing. You have to be watching them and
right.
you know, visually aware. And then number two, there was a prediction aspect to it, I think, that still exists, but a lot less now. And that's what the cast times, I think, were addressing. Because when you had like really high level players fight each other, they weren't just dumping these canceled in caps on each other without the other guy kind of knowing it was coming, you know? It was all about timing and knowing that, like, okay, I'm in his ult range. He's got his ult ready. I need to have my guard up. I need to make sure I block the next attack that's coming from him, because it's likely going to be that in cap. And when they took the cast times and they plugged that in there, they took away that kind of higher level prediction aspect, you know, and it's not of the whole game, but just that little bit. And ZeniMax has, over the years, been doing that to ESO. They don't want it to be, I think, as high level as it has been historically, at least in PvP, because there's too much of a skill gap. I think they look at it like that even today. You know, I love playing like solo and stuff, but I think from ZeniMax's balance perspective and from what I've seen from them, they don't want solo PvP to really be a thing.
Well, I think that's kind of debatable, because
I'd prefer if it was like not possible, or at least not as possible as it is now.
Yeah, well, you think they don't like the whole concept of 1vX'ing or something?
Yeah, I don't think, like, I don't think their balance team looks at 1vX and sees that as good balance. You know? I think they want to look at it and, like, how do I put it? Because they want to balance the game to, like, the majority audience, which is not a PvP player. But they want PvP to be accessible to that majority audience as well.
Right.
So if they allow PvP to be so high level that someone who's never played before stands no chance against experienced players, then they don't have that kind of environment. And that's why I think we see all these things like cast times on ultimates, tons of different proc sets being the meta, tons of passive healing and damage being the meta in PvP right now. And I think that just really comes down to the fact that they're trying to get an audience that isn't, you know, hardcore PvP audience to try their PvP. And like, I'm not going to say I love the changes, but I do like that they're trying to get more people into it. Is it the right way to go? I don't know.
But there's a certain point at which you have to be like no matter how much you make it friendlier, like there's always gonna be some sort of skill gap. So how far would they go?
And that's what they're exploring, I think, you know, where they want that gap to be. I know for me, it would have been a long time ago. I would have stopped taking layers of skill away. But I, again, you know, I've been playing PvP this whole time, and I probably like PvP a little bit more than the people that are actually working on balancing the game. So I don't know. I think it just really comes down to the fact that they want to get people that don't PvP into PvP. And I respect that too. You know, I understand that.
Yeah. I'm just kind of thinking about,
because I want it to be fun for people too.
But the whole thing about 1vX'ing is like, and we all know this, especially as either players that have been playing this game for a while or content creators, that the whole concept of 1vX'ing is killing people who are not as good as you at all, right? I mean, yeah. I can go right now to Imperial City and kill, like, probably make a 1vX montage in like 10 minutes, killing these 5-6 people roaming around questing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't know.
I
find that kind of debatable, like that they're balancing away from 1vX, because I don't really see how they could. You know what I mean? Besides,
bombing. Sorry, I'm reading Skinny's Skinny stuff. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe they aren't going that route, because as like a solo player, one of the hardest things to deal with if you're 1vX'ing, because let's say, like, you know, it's from the perspective of you're beating up on PvE players. If they all have sets on them that are going to easily do unblockable and dodgeable damage to you without them having to time their attacks, that's Ce-Nex giving them a big handhold against you. If that makes sense.
But
now, it doesn't mean that the 1vX can never happen, because there's always going to be, you know, someone who plays perfectly or close to it,
right.
and they'll come up against someone who's never had a PvP fight before. So,
but
like,
what about,
I don't know.
What about countering the proc sets on those people with your own proc sets, which has been a thing at the moment, from what I've seen.
Yeah, but I think, like, if we look at it from, like, fairness perspective, if both people are throwing out 6 or 7k extra damage with their light attack every time, then it doesn't benefit the higher skilled player more. If both people's attacks are only going to deal damage when they connect with a proper combo, the higher skilled player will have way more of an advantage, because the low skilled player won't do the combo properly. So they need the proc set in order to even have a chance to does that make sense?
Yeah,
to, like,
yeah, that
even
makes sense. I see what you're saying.
out of them. And it's just like that idea of free damage. If they can make it free, if they can make like 30% of PvP not on the part of the player, it makes it so that you can't get beaten as bad by someone. And
right.
You know, or lose really bad to, or beat someone really bad or whatever. And you know, I'm a little mixed on that. I like it. Like it because it gets more people into PvP, but you're right. Where's the limit of stopping this? You know,
speaking,
you say
right,
the skill cap is too small or whatever.
Right. I guess speaking of stopping this, I mean, there was this recent announcement where they said, as part of the I want to see ongoing performance tests in Zephyrot, the last being the AoE performance test, they're gonna be disabling proc sets. What do you think about that?
When is this happening? I don't know what day.
They said sometime in this month or sometime this month.
Okay.
Did you hear about it?
I mean, it'll be different. They remove proc sets. I think, you know how we have a tank meta right now?
Right.
People are going to come in on the builds that they're used to playing right now, and everyone will feel way more tankier. So, I think that'll be the first thing they notice. I think also, like, having jumped on the PTS and trying out the new CP changes, once they remove proc sets in the future, people won't, or if they had done the proc set removal test in the future after the new patch, people wouldn't realize it as much, because in the new patch you have insane amounts of more base weapon damage, and it results in, you know, you'd think it would result in, like, how do I explain it? Because what happened before with the old champion system is we had like % damage increase, and then when you attacked an opponent, they also had % damage decrease. So like net CP, there wasn't really much of a difference in the damage you dealt if both of you guys had about the same amount of CP.
Right.
Versus if you guys had 0 CP each. Does that
that
makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It'll just cancel itself out. With the new changes, it's not like that. With the new changes, everybody's getting a massive amount of base weapon damage, more max stat, especially things like max HP. So everybody's healing will be better, everybody's damage will be better, and the proc sets in relation will be weaker. So if you're playing a proc build right now, you have 5k weapon damage, and your procs are going to deal 40% of your damage. In the PTS, they're going to deal like 25 to 30%. It goes down by a lot, and you have 7k weapon damage. So it just weights your character a little differently. So if they do the changes like right now, I think people will just be too tanky for the non-proc set. There are builds you can play that aren't going to be too tanky for it, but man, most people are not playing those builds / don't have them set up.
Right.
And it won't be until next patch that I think non-proc Cyrodiil will actually be pretty decent. I think ZeniMax has just balanced Cyrodiil to the point now where it's at. You know, they made everyone so tanky, and then they're like, they need to die still, but we can't crank up damage too high because it makes healing too strong. What can we do? Add proc sets, and where we are today.
Well, I don't think they intend on carrying Drew with disabling proxies entirely. They just kind of want to test if it affects performance. And speaking of performance,
no, you're right.
Right.
I just sorry, I was just answering under the idea of like what it would be like.
Oh yeah. I realize that.
Everyone will be really tanky.
Yeah, for sure. I guess there's like two paths we can go on from this point. The first path being the new champion point system. Everyone's talking about it, everyone's worried about it, everyone's a little anxious about it, but for the most part there seems to be a lot of excitement. For the PvP side though, I mean, as of right now, PTS Week 2, you need a lot of champion points to, you know, be min-maxing or min-maxed in PvE, about 2,700.
Yeah.
For PvP, that's even more lopsided,
So,
right? Because
issue-
sorry, go on.
Yeah. Issue with that. So it's a good and a bad. So you say 2,700, which is true. You'll need an insane amount of CP to fully max out your combat tree passives, because the way it works is you have the colored stars, which if you're in the blue tree would be blue, and you can slot those guys. And just for anyone that's watching that doesn't know, you also have yellow stars. And when you put points in the yellow stars in the blue tree or your combat tree, they're a permanent passive effect that you don't have to slot anywhere in order to get. So yes, you can dump a ton of points in there, but I would say past like the 2,000 mark, the points you're dumping in there don't benefit your build a lot. Because I would say like once you filled out the healing tree and once you filled out your primary defense tree, be it like blocking or rolling or whatever, I think it's just blocking actually in that tree. You'll put in your like offensive points and stuff, but you don't need to have like 2,700 CP to have your character at max effectiveness. Sure, your block might cost 5% more than the guy who is at max level, but if you're playing like a medium armor roll build, that's going to have such a minor impact on the long term of your build. So it's not as bad as that, but it's definitely a lot higher. I would say like 1,500 plus CP if you want to be end game competitive, at least in PvP.
Oh, really? You think it's going to be that low as of right now? 1,500?
Yeah, I think 1,500 is actually not so bad, you know, because I was looking at the passives myself and I have 1,300 CP on my character. And if I had another, I think 120 CP, I could have maxed out my healing tree, and then I'm just missing those blocking passives.
Okay.
I was missing some of the defensive tree though. That's true. So probably more like 1,800 actually.
1,000. Well, for the PvE side, it's
closer to
like
2K.
Yeah, for sure. It's about 2K plus at least for the PvE side. But I'd have figured for PvP it'd be even more because you have more variables, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think in PvP it also like it comes down to like build as well. In PvE, in PvE you're very like specialized in your role, but PvP you're also kind of specialized in your role on how you attack and defend yourself, right? I don't know. Just when I looked at the tree, I just didn't see like the need to have to put every single passive point in there for a PvP build. You know, if I'm playing a medium armor build, I can be short 250 points and still be just as good as someone who's got those 250 passive points in the stuff that is kind of unnecessary.
For PvE, it's like, do you want, for most people right now, because most people are sitting in around 800, 1,000 or somewhere around there. Some people are at 2,000 or above. There's two people in the world with 3,600 champion points. Fun fact.
Yeah. There's two now. There we go.
Congrats. Yeah, there's two. Yeah, there's two people in the world.
Heard about the first guy.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing, but anyway, but for PvE, it's like, do you want to just do damage? Because you have to the blue tree has a lot of the passives, like a ridiculous amount of passive nodes, because in the blue tree they kind of shifted over a lot of the mitigation champion points from the red tree to the blue tree. So it's like, do you want damage or do you want more mitigation? So if you want more mitigation, you're gonna sacrifice damage. If you want more damage, you're gonna be sacrificing mitigation in that sense. So there's a choice in that. But for, you know, when you're looking at people with a higher number of CP, they can have both.
You can pick both.
Right. And I was kind of wondering...
Well, to a degree. I mean, there's still the slotted stars and stuff, but yeah, you're right. I think, you know, I don't know how much it'll impact PvE, because I'm not sure. I don't do dungeons. I'll be straight up.
Well, dungeons, raids, yeah.
None of that. I don't do any of that.
You don't do any of it. You've never done any... No. Or rather, not never, but you just don't do...
Did PvE. A normal trial, okay?
Normal.
It was great.
Which one was it?
The one where you get the Black Rose staff. I did a couple times.
That's not a trial, Christopher.
Whatever. Same thing.
Actually, I've noticed something. Your name in Discord is Jack, and then your ESO handle is Christopher. Which should you like be prefer to be called by?
I think Christopher is probably better. Jack is just my old like in-game handle before I started, you know, all this stuff.
What's the story behind that, Jack and Christopher?
I used to play RuneScape, and when I was a youngin', I loved to go out and party. So I named my RuneScape character Jack Daniel, and that just stuck with me.
You like whiskey?
I hate Jack Daniels, though. It is absolutely disgusting.
Why? I mean, it's not that bad.
I don't know.
It's not that bad.
Drank whiskey?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the whiskey. Like really bad whiskey. Oh God, never. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know about the Jack Daniels thing though. Man. Okay, what do you like then? What alcohol?
What do I like for a drink? Oh, I don't know. I like beer. Like just a beer is good.
What kind of beer?
Or gin and tonic's not bad. Oh man. Usually like a lighter beer, like Corona or Dos Equis, you know.
Okay. I've never heard of the second one.
Dos Equis is just like Corona.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's like Corona. I know Corona's not people's favorite. I have stomach problems, Kay. I can't drink fucking hard alcohol and shit. Just give me a light Corona. It's more than enough.
But yeah,
Seki's aren't a bad hot summer drink. Hell yeah, sitting in like in the lake or something, just drinking.
I've never had it. I'll have to check it out after a stream, I guess. But
you got a mission today.
All right, but yeah,
you can only tell if you like them. If you have 12.
Okay, I'll try 12. I'll try the entire pack. 12 pack.
Yeah. Well, my computer just turned off.
Wait, what? You're still here?
Bad. Yeah, I'm here. My computer just went to sleep.
Oh, okay, okay. Right, we were just kind of chilling. But yeah, I guess. So, in your opinion, about 1800 CP for PvP, you just don't think any more will help in PvP? I guess with the CP 2.0.
Any more? Sorry.
You don't think more points than that would help anymore after 1800?
Well, obviously, like it'll help. I just think like past a certain point, it'll stop being beneficial. You don't have to be max level. That kind of is the point. Maybe like 2/3 of the way there, and you should be just as strong. But just not going to need all 3,600. That's insane.
Right, I don't think even for PvP you're going to need that much either. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes, right? This is a totally new system. Power creep is definitely one of the concerns that I have with it too. So, only time will tell. But I had a question. I forgot it. Never mind.
Well, I guess you can think about the question. Okay, so yeah, so that was the first, I guess, diversion point we talked about, the CP 2.0. What were we talking about before the CP 2.0? We were talking about cast times, and we talked about proc sets. I was going to ask you something else. It was a good question. Oh
yes.
Oh, it was you remember your question?
No, I just answering.
Oh, okay. So, in conjunction with proc sets and AOE performance tests and everything, what's your opinion on the, I guess, PvP performance? And this is, I guess, something, a topic you're also well known for within the general ESO community, right? Yeah.
Ranting about PvP.
Well.
Oh man. Okay, I'll say this before we start.
Okay.
Catch me live in the middle of playing. And I've been playing for like 2.5 hours, and it's just been laggy the whole time.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a mean opinion about how laggy PvP is.
Okay.
Because it's been like, hey, 2.5 hours. I would love to break a goddamn stun by now.
Right.
But
yeah, I've had yeah.
Yeah, it's not great, man. I don't know. I have kind of this attitude with PvP in this game of like, unless something happens to the game where they like have to seriously make changes fix a lot of the PvP issues, I don't think we're ever really going to see things change much. You know, it's like a 7-year-old game, and sitting here talking about how laggy PvP is, man. So I don't know. I wish in like my ideal world that they would buckle down and be like, yes, we're actually going to make sure Cyrodiil works. There's a lot of like, you know, hey, this is going to be the year of performance, and 1 year later Cyrodiil's even worse off and stuff. And it is a lot of fun in this game, but I find this past year it's been incredibly hard to enjoy it, like day in, day out. I want to, and I come in there and I'm like, I have the drive to play, right. And I just find after a couple hours, if it's just laggy, I'll go to a different server, it's still laggy, and I'm just get so fed up with it. And day in, day out, man, it's been a rough year for PvP performance. Like, this has by far been the worst year, I think, about this game's history for performance.
And you're talking about 2020, right? From Hero Storm
yeah, 2020
to the end. Well, how's it right now, actually, this mid-year? Have you been playing Mid-Year Mayhem? I think you have.
Have been, yeah. You know, Mid-Year Mayhem always runs well because they...
What? You're being serious?
They do something to the server that I wish they would do the entire year, but it's only during Mid-Year Mayhem they seem to have the server run a little better.
Wait, what do you mean do something to the server?
I don't know. During Mid-Year Mayhem, things just run better. Like, really? The server runs better. There's less lag in Cyrodiil.
It's about the same or worse for me during Mid-Year Mayhem. Especially in
so?
smaller...
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Well, actually... Oh, yeah, I remember... some people actually asked me to watch a video from you, I think last year. It was in regards to PvP performance. I watched it, and I was confused, because I think you also said the same thing, like they do something to the servers. But from my experience last year, because I did like 48-hour streams, 35-hour streams, I did like 24/7 almost, like for like 5 days in a row. Just PvPing, just doing Mid-Year Mayhem, keeping M in Blackreach. And it was horrible at a lot of points. The lag and the ping spikes and the FPS drops.
It's actually awful to hear, man. I'm sorry. You know, because when I do mid-year, I don't have that experience at all. It's always like better. And then the day after mid-year, I can tell. I'm like, wow. It's the additional campaigns with additional players. Yeah, I mean, I also spend a lot of time not playing in a full campaign. If you were doing the Emp hunt, I totally feel why you would be lagging out like crazy still.
Right, and I think that's my point. Like, I don't think they do anything special to the servers. I think they just add more servers and the population kind of gets more evenly spread out. So I guess maybe that's it. Or, you know, another thing that I think too is it's the PvE questers, because they're out in all the towns and they're not actively spamming articles. So the actual population of PvP that's fighting is smaller during mid-year than it would be, because there aren't people that are going and getting all those boxes and shit. And that probably has to do with it too, why I feel like it might be better. But usually, like, I find with the mid-year though, if I'm not on the main campaign, I tend to have a lot better performance. Right, I mean, I think Greyhouse is fucking cursed, man. Like, no matter what time of the year. Yeah, no, it is. No matter what time of day. I've gone into Greyhouse at 3-4 a.m. in the morning. It's still lagging. And the population bar is like 2 bars. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What's going on, dude? I think that campaign is the most cursed campaign since True Flame or whatever other fucking 30-day campaign there was in the past. Maybe that's why I never go there. It's better. Maybe that's why I get that impression, because we're always playing on Greyhost, and then we're just like subjected to the Greyhost norm. Right. And then the mid-year comes, and all of a sudden we can pick other campaigns, and it's so much better. You think they should just keep open the campaigns they open up for mid-year? Just for performance? No, there's not enough incentive. People won't stay in them. They need, if they did, they'd need to keep the rewards permanently. I don't know. I don't think they should make too much incentive to play PvP, to be honest, because why? It's not for everybody. I would say most people don't want to PvP. So like putting something in game where it's like, this is the best way to make this or whatever, and the answer is PvP. I don't know. Okay. At least for ESO, it's just there's not enough of a PvP audience to
You know, like look at IC and how popular that's been.
Well, that's kind of the same perception the endgame PvE has. Like, nobody wants to really get into raiding or whatever. Like, a lot of people consider just dungeons or normal dungeons or vet dungeons to be the actual endgame, where housing is, you know, the endgame for a lot of people. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, but
no, I think it's a shift in like people's play style.
A shift in play style.
Sorry, I'll
sorry, what?
like it's a shift in you know how when we were kids, you loved playing video games, right? Because you're a streamer now. You obviously loved this as a kid, just like me.
Actually, when I was a kid, I could only play with a stick and a rock. Maybe some dirt, some sand. Okay.
Well, whenever you got introduced to it,
okay, yeah,
that you were like, "Damn, this is great," right?
Right. Yeah.
Sorry about your stick and rock experience, though.
Imagination is your best game, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get video games till I was 12. I just played outside, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
So, when I got introduced to it, you know, it was like not a lot of people were into it. Video games were like a niche thing, and nowadays video games are very popular. Like, I talked to some of my friends, and there were people that I went to college with that didn't play games, and they're buying Switches and stuff now. So I think why maybe the community attitude is a little bit more casual is just because more people are gaming now. It's not just like a smaller population that tends to be more hardcore.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that's really the struggle with an MMO, to be honest, because you want to have both parties playing, right?
Right. I've actually never heard that perspective before, and that's actually pretty eye-opening for me. I've never thought about it that way. Like, it's okay. Yeah, I've never thought about it like, oh, now there's more people that they're just
well, the video game industry's exploded, right? This past 15 years have been insane.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's something I gotta think about now. Damn.
Yeah. It's weird because I grew up like playing RuneScape, right? And I didn't tell any of my friends because I lived in a very small town and I didn't want to embarrass myself. I had like 1 or 2 friends that I knew played RuneScape, and I would talk to them about it, and that was it. Now, you know, as a 27-year-old, it's like everybody I know plays something.
Right.
Have a game they like. Such a different world. I don't know.
I mean, the fact that we even have esports is quite, yeah, right.
How would we have pursued a career in what we're doing right now, or even pursued streaming or anything just for fun 10, 15 years ago? There was no Twitch. There was no, you know, YouTube wasn't going to pay you to do the kind of stuff that they do now and all that. So very different.
Yeah,
I like it though. I like how people have kind of accepted it. When I was young, my dad was always like, video games are a waste of time, and I believed him, you know. So show you, Dad.
Maybe he's watching, who knows.
Probably not. He's not a big ESO fan.
Yeah, okay. Oh, did he try ESO?
He's so proud of me too, man. He loves that I went for it, but you know, when we were young, he thought it was a waste of time, 100%.
Oh, I mean, I think that was a lot of the older generation's attitudes. Like, you should be, you know, studying to get into the best university or whatever. And you know what I mean? Like,
you should be doing algebra for fun. Yeah,
the old-fashioned kind of neoliberal kind of attitude. Just do what is most successful. But
yeah. Well, my parents were like immigrants too, so it was very much like, you better work fucking hard.
Oh, where did they immigrate from? Out of curiosity.
My dad was from Argentina. My mom is from Germany.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
They met here actually in Canada. That's where I'm from. Yeah, there was no easy street at my house. It was like, you want something, you need something, you fucking earn it. Yep. And that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. In down the law, baby. So yeah, those people weren't a fan of games.
No. But yeah, where were we?
It's not my parents.
Actually, I don't know how much time you have. Like,
I got all day, man. Honestly, okay, I don't really got much planned.
Okay. Going back to the performance thing. I think that's also something a lot of people know you for, because I actually see a lot of people also discontent. And don't get me wrong, I'm also discontent at times with performance. I mean, PvE this past quarter has been abysmal. And there's like from my perspective, and I'm not like shitting on the devs or anything, but this is just something I observed. From my perspective, it's like there's so much enthusiasm at the start of every patch. And then when the patch goes through, something's broken, or in this case, in the past quarter, PvE raids keep crashing, instances keep crashing, people can't even play the game. So there's that built-up frustration. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. Like, the enthusiasm just quickly died. Oh, cool, quality of life changes. Oh, we're getting set collections, sticker book, cool. UI revamp, that's cool. But then it just kind of all dies off because of performance. And that's something also, right? Yeah, and the discussion around it, at least from my point of view, is kind of taboo on the forums, at least. And that's where I think a lot of people also get to know you from, the forums, because a lot of people link your YouTube videos talking about performance, and also your Twitch clips talking about performance. But, right.
I don't know. You know what? I don't look on the forums that often, and if people link stuff about me, I don't look at it.
yeah. I guess my question is, like, what do you think could, I mean, like, we have all these AoE performances, like, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that, I don't know if you tested during it, or if you did test during it, but do you think there's any, the performance test?
I don't think they're going to do any AoE cooldowns. That's not the route they're going to go. They're going to go the other route, which I had hoped when they initially did the tests, and that's going to be looking at what the problem is, and then taking a more creative approach to fixing it than like a blanket cooldown on everything.
Did you read what they wrote about the whole AoE performance test results?
Sorry?
Did you read what they wrote about in regards to the AoE performance test they did, the 6-7 weeks they did?
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, they basically said the increase in performance on their end was what, like 10%, or like nothing like significant. Which was actually really surprising to me, because and also kind of a relief, because a lot of us, especially those of us who, you know, came to ESO for PvP. I came to ESO for PvP. Like right now I'm mainly PvE, but I came to ESO for PvP. I saw those trailers. I just like you, I fell in love with the combat system, right? And then when they said, okay, we're gonna potentially introduce global AoE cooldowns, I was like, oh, you know, I was also kind of freaking out, like, what the fuck is going on? And I think some of us had some hope that it wasn't gonna yield significant results. And lo and behold, there were no significant results. I don't know if that's fortunate or unfortunate, but I think for the game it was fortunate. But the fact that it didn't help at all, or even that the fact that they mentioned cross-healing, and I want to ask your opinion on that later, also doesn't help performance. I don't know what else possibly they could try at this point. When you mention creative solutions, what do you mean by that? Like,
I don't know. Creative solution to like performance fixes?
Yeah, like as you mentioned.
Yeah, so like what they're doing right now, they're going through the skills, and they're like they redid the CP system, so there's a lot less checks. That's a big thing, right? That's more of a creative solution, where I think maybe doing the AoE test showed them that they're kind of bottlenecking in this certain area. So how can they rewrite the code of how the calculation is done so that perhaps it doesn't bottleneck so bad here? I'm not a programmer, so I can't, pretend to really nice wine glass. I can't pretend to really know everything about it.
Right.
But, I think that's the route they're going to take, because they went through the whole test thing, and let's be honest, if they throw cooldowns on it, this game's dead. Like,
really? That's what you think? The cooldowns will
really honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I kind of think so too. Like, I just can't imagine the ESO with cooldowns. I mean, I can imagine because we actually tested it. But I don't know. It just, like, the whole point of ESO, for me and for a lot of people, is the combat system, right? No matter what happens, whether it's us lagging our balls off in Zephyrot, or maybe even PvE raids not even happening because, you know, we keep crashing. I guess like the only grace factor is the combat system compared to other MMOs or other games, right? That's what I would say. Yeah, I can see your point in regards to that. Cooldowns would kill the game, or maybe not kill the game, but make a lot of people
kill
leave.
The game, I think, is fair.
Well, okay, kill the end game, because like, come on, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's literally what makes this game good. All of us who play this game, we do it because we love how it plays.
Right.
And we love the combat. If they take that away, what are we coming back for, right? Housing?
I mean, the housing scene is actually pretty big.
It is actually huge, but that's it. Then,
right.
You know, it's just housing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Honestly, like, I'm not sure what has to happen for things to get, like, for ZeniMax to actually make it better. I think, like, just pressure from the community is never going to be it, though. It's like, I feel like the community, especially the PvP community, has been incredibly ardent about the game running better for years now. And that's been like the primary thing that they've asked for. And the PvE community is also on that train as of this past year. And
right. Yeah, I mean, the sentiment is everywhere, like, right? We don't want any more. We don't want any more new content or new patches, or we don't want new content. We want the game to work. How can you play the new content if the game's not working?
If we get new content, we want it to work, right? That's kind of primary thing here. And I don't know, man. Like, ZeniMax is like a playbook that they've been doing for a long time. They've been doing it this way, and they're still making money. They're still doing good. So, well, it's a little pessimistic, but I don't think that things will really improve.
Well, I think it might. I mean, they've been doing a lot of work in terms of like these item set audits where they're removing the checks for the servers. Even skills and passives don't need to go. I mean, like, I believe they said for next patch, so a lot of these things are going to be hard coded instead of having the server check it. Like, okay, is this direct damage, and how much of a chance am I giving this player to proc it? Stuff like that. In addition to the CP being rewarded, I have some hope, obviously. But you know, as with every patch, or as with this year, I mean, they said the same thing last year, right? Like, we're gonna work on performance, and this year they said, okay, this is gonna be a year performance. Right.
The new patch always introduces more problems too, and they don't properly fix it. And that's why I say, like, I don't really think things will improve. It's not like the people who are working on the game aren't trying to fix it. They are. They're trying to fix it. They're trying to improve it. I just don't think they have enough of what they need to do it. Maybe not enough manpower, maybe not enough of the tools they need, because we're getting patches that get pushed to the live server with issues that players found on the first day of the PTS. They still get published to the live server, you know? And then on top of it, they get pushed forward with all these other changes that always seem to heavily impact performance. And yeah, they can say, oh, we're going to do this to fix performance, we're going to do that, but whatever else they do tends to just push it further down the, hey, it's not going to run so well road. And, you know, like, the way I like to look at ZeniMax is there's two parties. There's the people that actually make and work on the game, and then there's the people that stand to make money from this game. And I think there's a little bit of a disconnect between those two parties at this company, because the people that are actually making and working on this game are taking a lot of heat for things that I don't think is their fault.
Right.
Because if you were someone that spent, you know, like Gina, if you were someone like Gina who spent 15 years plus working on this game, it's not your fault when this game has massive problems. You've spent, you're like half your life making this game an amazing game, and you're not given maybe the support that you need. You're not given enough time because there's a constraint. This patch has to be pushed forward and so on. And I know Gina's not a programmer, but she has been a huge like part of this game. If you look at like old footage of when they were putting this game together, a lot of the model actions for ESO, like your character models, Gina did those. And
what, really?
You know, yeah,
I didn't know that. Model? She modeled for
really old videos. You can see her like on behind the green, or in front of the green scene and stuff, and
that's cool.
Doing different poses. Yeah.
I never knew that. I gotta look these videos up.
Yeah, there you go.
Send me these videos, dude.
And yeah, Skara says, I hope things will change now that they're being bought by Microsoft. Maybe things will, you know, because old ZeniMax was privately traded, or was a private company, whereas Microsoft is a little bit of a different situation here. So maybe they will, but I don't know. You know,
well, the acquisition takes
I still
effect
think that
this spring,
exists.
so maybe we'll see changes for that end, maybe not. But I have some hope, and like you said,
Yeah.
I think the issues, especially after they did all this AOE performance tests and everything, like the issues run deeper than, you know, I see this all the time. Like both PvPers and PvEers saying, "Oh, ZeniMax just needs to get better servers." I don't think this is more. I think these kinds of things aren't really a hardware issue, or something as simple as that. But I think it definitely runs deeper, as you said.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know what the exact problem is, because, you know, like you, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't code the game, but it's obvious there is a problem. You know, that's what is going on. And I don't think we as the player base really has any push. I don't think there's much we can do short of maybe like a lot of us leave the game in order to see like actual change really facilitated for the players. Otherwise, we're just kind of at the mercy of what maybe the Microsoft will do in the future, I guess.
I don't know. I'm still a little hopeful in regards to performance. We'll see what happens.
Good, man. I'm glad to hear it.
All right, we'll see.
I want the best for this game. I really do, man. I just, you know, it's been a really long time, and watching it go up and down. So
yeah,
I just don't want to give myself an expectation where I get let down. That's the big thing.
Oh man, what was I gonna ask you about? I was gonna ask you something. I keep forgetting. Excuse me.
Too much wine. Too
true. Too much wine. Too much wine.
It's 3 p.m. here, bro.
Bro, it's almost 6 p.m. for me. It doesn't matter if you're drinking in the morning, after dinner. Oh, I got the question. It came back to me because I was drinking the wine. So you were talking about how you maybe don't want to see incentives for people to PvP for a couple reasons, including, I guess, performance. But like, assuming performance is a non-issue, like, what kind of incentives would you guys like? Would you like to see for PvP, like for people to get into PvP? Because this has been this isn't just a PvP issue as well. This is also, for me, a PvE issue. Like, how do I get more people interested in raiding?
Yeah.
How do I get more people to think that, oh, you know, raiders aren't toxic elitists? And I'm assuming from watching, you know, other podcasts or other PvP podcasts, like with Zelly, Pain DX, or whoever else. And I can even go back and look at the podcast with Lefty, Fang Rush, Cypher, and King Richard, and it's the same exact issues throughout the years. Like, what are the incentives, right? What do you think the incentive should be for PvPers, or for, you know, people to PvP?
I think there are quite a few now. I don't know. PvP rewards are actually pretty good. If you just pug it up in a group, you can get some decent stuff. Performance wasn't a problem, honestly, man. I don't think you'd need an incentive. PvP is literally so fun. I would be in there just because of the fun level, not even because of the reward. And then back when, you know, the whole Cypher Lefty Lucy days as well, was very little rewards for PvP. People got very little compared to now. You know, you get way more end of campaign rewards. You get way more in your rewards for the worthy now too, and you know, and you get way more AP now. Just everything, you get so much more. And back then, man, people were always out in PvP, and I think it's just because of how much fun it was. You know, I'll be honest, dude. If performance was a non-issue, I don't think you'd need an incentive. I think PvP is creme de la creme of the combat in this game. You know, PvE is fun and all, but PvP, it pushes you to your absolute limit in every department: offense, defense, strategy, everything. And that alone would pull people in, man. Maybe I'm a little biased.
Well, on that, maybe I see your point though, but on that note, like, some PvPers have been asking, well, maybe economize or financialize incentives. Like,
Yeah, I'm actually against that.
You're against it. Okay. Well, why are you against it?
Yeah, it comes back to like the whole. There's a huge portion of this game that does not PvP. If you add too much incentive to something like PvP and too much reward, you get an inverse effect where a lot of people feel forced to PvP or they can't be competitive or get the stuff they need.
But then what about the people
right now?
But what about the people who get into PvP because of that and then stick around just for the PvP, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think that exists now. You know, we have like the mid-year mayhem events and stuff. It's a great way for new people to try PvP and be like, oh, I actually like this. That being said, I think most people who do mid-year mayhem, they don't want to stick around after, which is normal.
Right. But there's at least some retention, you would think.
Yeah, and just like the general rewards now are not too bad. Like, they're not amazing, don't get me wrong. You'll definitely make more money if you go and grind a dungeon or something, I think, for an hour.
Right.
But it won't be as fun. So there's like that. I think for like, assuming there was no lag, for the amount of fun that PvP is, the rewards are definitely worth it.
Okay.
I could be super biased because I PvP a lot. If I was like a newer player maybe and I was confined to running in a group where I just die all the time, and maybe I'd think differently. I don't know. I think the rewards are there for sure. Yeah, I think especially the AP gain. You can buy so much with AP now. It's very valuable and, well, not like insanely valuable, but you can get a ton of it. It's not hard.
Right.
You know?
Well,
you kill.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go. I was just gonna say it's like, not that hard. I'm like thinking to myself, well, a lot of people would say it's hard.
No, it's not so bad. I mean, here's the thing: is if you're new to PvP and you play in a group or something, or you even just go BGs, honestly, man, it's not bad. You could be completely green and you could still have an absolute blast. You know, some of my favorite moments when I look back at like my favorite times playing ESO was when I first started playing. I first jumped into PvP and I was like, holy fucking shit.
I agree, yeah.
This is so much fun. And I just couldn't stop. And I was aware that I was just running out there and dying, not really killing anything, not really doing much for the fight, just respawning and running back to die. Man, it was way too much fun.
I guess on that note,
yeah,
like... Okay, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I don't think they should have like a huge reward system behind it. I don't think that's a good idea. You know? Unless a majority population of the game was into PvP. Let's say like 50% plus liked PvP, then yes.
But then
it's just not a PvP enough game.
But at the same time, wouldn't more incentives make the population more interested in PvP? Kind of goes both ways.
I think we're at that, inflection point where if you keep adding more, it would start to have the opposite effect. Yeah, and people would be complaining about having to PvP.
Well, I guess what rewards are you thinking about when you say it's too much, or will make people want to?
You just like doubled the current rewards. I think that would be way too much.
Really?
If we had like twice as much reward for worthy coming in, twice as much gold, twice as much of everything, pretty much. I don't know. Like they could add more if they wanted, but it's like, let's pick a good example. Back in the day, they used to have master weapons that you used to be able to get through PvP.
Right.
Okay. Now I kind of like that because you could also get the master weapon from doing the dungeons and stuff. You know how many dungeons I do. I know all their names. And the whole thing about getting a master weapon through PvP is you had to place really high, and then you had a chance of getting one.
Right.
And that was actually like a good system because you could achieve that reward somewhere else in the game. So if they were to give people more incentive for PvP, have it be like if you place in the top 1,000 or whatever for the campaign, you get a random master weapon again. Because that's something where a PvE player who doesn't want to do that isn't locked into that playstyle.
Right. Or maybe a reward that is basically just PvP only. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Could be like an item that's just for PvP. That's only useful for PvP.
Yeah, that's what I think's not good.
Oh, you don't. Why
if
not?
it's like,
it's just for
if it
PvP,
has a high
though.
requirement, like top 1000, and it's a PvP only reward, unless it's a cosmetic, if it's something like a weapon.
Well, yeah,
I
I'm
don't think
talking
it would
about
be
like
good, because then,
cosmetic, maybe like something like non-essential, but also.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, right. But
You have a goddamn PvP skill cape. You know what I'm saying?
a cape. I don't think they're ever gonna do a cape, man. People keep bringing up capes. I'm like,
Level
oh,
99 PvP on it.
man. If you ask the fashionistas in this game about capes, they'll freak out because they're like, oh, well, I got the shield clipping through my character's hair and this hoodie that's got the horns poking through it. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think capes will ever be a thing. But yeah, I guess on that note, in regards to not making a lot of gold or anything, or in PvP compared to, as you said, running a dungeon, which you don't make much gold running a dungeon. What's it like? What are the economics of being a PvP player for you? I guess in this case, like with how much build diversity there is across different classes. I mean, you play every class. How much gold and time do you need for each build, basically, is what I'm asking. I mean, how often do you have to
definitely
do that?
It's definitely structured in a way, whereas like PvP is your reward at the end. You start grinding out your gear, etc., so you can PvP on it. So I spend quite a bit of time putting builds together. Now, I've been playing a long time like you, and I have so many sets. Like, most of the things I need, I likely have in my bank somewhere, which is nice. But, I'll always have to go grind new stuff. But yeah, it is kind of that pattern of the PvP player having to do something in order to come back to PvP with what they want to do, especially if you like playing a lot of builds. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's too bad. I like this game like all around. Like PvP is my favorite part, but I still like playing the game, so I complain complain too much. I know some people that are PvP only aren't the biggest fan, but I do like that the game offers different build routes. Like you could just level your character up and then do a crafted build, and then maybe just go get one mythic item or one helm set from PvPing, for example, and that's like your set. So you have options, but if you really want to dive into it like I do, then yeah, you're gonna have to go out and farm some shit. You're gonna have to do some Patron, even though your favorite dungeon in the world. You really want to do it all the time.
How much gold do you often have to spend for these builds, on average?
Probably like 200 to 300k a build. Not a lot. I don't spend much because I own a lot of the gear.
Does it most of it go to like upgrade materials, maybe, or potions?
Yeah, for sure. I don't upgrade a lot of stuff. There's no point in upgrading a lot of your gear to gold. It's quite wasteful unless this is like main build that I know I'm going to play for a really long time. I won't do it.
But you still upgrade the weapons, right, Christopher?
Yeah, gold weapons, gold enchants.
Yeah.
Sometimes purple enchants on the gear. Honestly, man, like, PvP is a pretty high skill ceiling. If you're missing out on a little bit of stat and you just outplay the guy, it's fine. I don't know. It's just like, it's kind of wasteful. It's like buying a new computer. You could buy the newest computer possible and spend way more money than you need to on it, or you could get something 5 or 10% less powerful, way less. So that's the way to describe it. You can always budget build. I like to budget build. It's just the way to do it. And when I do videos and stuff and I show builds, I always try to like mention, how you can save money on the build and stuff, whether it's necessary to upgrade these things or not.
That's pretty cool, and I guess that also brings in more viewers too, because not everyone has the gold, right?
No, definitely not. And when I do my content, I'm very aware that I'm not making these videos for someone like me who plays the game all day. I'm making these videos for someone who maybe doesn't have the chance to play the game all day. So they want to be able to access the stuff in my build. and that's a big plus side actually to me being such a noob with all the PvE stuff, is that whenever there's an item that's really hard to get, I'll go get the easy version of it, which is really good for the viewers, because then if they want to do the build, they don't have to go farm, you know, perfected Vatron weapon or whatever. I'm not gonna do that myself.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I
don't know. It's like a mix of things. I want to share the idea. So sometimes, I will go all out, and it'll be a lot harder to get some of the things. But I do like to try to keep it as appropriate for everyone as possible.
Yeah.
Not everyone has the gold to throw away and stuff.
It's pretty good.
And I'll be honest, man. As a sorry.
No, go on.
As a content creator who makes builds, my community has been a huge help in helping me put together some builds as well.
Oh, like farm runs and all that, and
Yeah, definitely. You know, they'll run me through dungeons and stuff. Cool. Not just that, but they'll send me potions or materials to upgrade builds and stuff. And I don't really like to take advantage of it, but when it's like in a situation where like if they send me the gold now, we can move on with the content that's planned. You know, it makes a lot of sense. They want to see the build in action too, and that's why they're helping me out. And I really appreciate it.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, not super often. Most of the time, like I said, I have a lot of my own stuff. We don't need anything. I do my writs.
What was I gonna say? Oh god, it just escaped my mind. Let me drink some more.
If you drink it, it'll come back in.
Hopefully.
Drink it back in. Here you go. Is there such easy money once you take the time? Hell yeah. I have 12 characters set up for writs.
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about that. I'm glad we're bringing this up. The whole thing about how much gold you need to invest and how much gold you invest in your builds, and you're doing amazing, right? And how much gold people expect to put into PvP, because I actually get this a lot. When I like open up my inventory while I'm PvPing, people see that my gear isn't gold. It's like most of it's purple, or some of it's like a lot of it's purple, or all of it is purple. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm like, no, it's whatever. Because as long as you got the traits and the sets, you're pretty much good to go. What do you say?
I'm telling you, when you're out there in PvP and you see like players that play well, those motherfuckers have purple gear on. You know they have purple gear on.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't really matter much.
It's expensive to invest, like, yeah, it doesn't. It's like 5%, and you're gonna invest like over $1 million gold to fully gold out a build or something stupid. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter much.
Only if it's your main.
Yeah, it doesn't matter much because like I end up getting like 10v1 or 20. It doesn't matter how gold your gear is at that point. You're gonna die. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Like, I get in so many situations
no amount of additional stats gonna save you from getting fucked up the ass like that by 20 people.
Yeah.
Pardon my language.
No, you're fine.
That's yeah, I don't know. It's, you know, it's just not worth it. It's such an investment. And if you want to play more than one build, I would highly recommend not doing it. Just save your money, gold out your weapons, and move on. Happy camper.
Oh, there's one thing.
Gear won't stop a Zerg. That's right.
There's one thing that a lot of PvPers have been celebrating in regards to next patch for Update 29 or Flames of Ambition DLC. And then one of the changes is the nerf to Snipe. Do you have any reaction to that?
No.
Right, so it has a faster cast time. It has the same 0.8 second cast time as channeling a crystal fragment now. But the damage has been severely.
It took the damage nerf. Hear me out for Snipe. What makes Snipe a good skill is two things. Number one, when you get desynced and you get multiple snipes hitting you at the exact same moment. That's not supposed to happen. And then number two is when someone actually uses snipe correctly and they're doing the snipe and they're lobbing that into another cancelable shot. Like a poison injection would be a good example, but usually it's something like silver leash or something for the extra damage. That's a dangerous snipe when someone's actually comboing you with it. 99% of snipers do not combo you with their snipe. They literally just spam snipe. So this change has like almost no effect on most builds and most snipe gameplay. Pretty much nothing's changing. It does, however, lower the maximum damage of the initial burst of snipe. It does lower the maximum combination damage of snipe. I actually don't even think that was necessary, to be perfectly honest.
Really?
I don't know, man. I've been PvPing a long time. If you're dying to just one guy spamming snipe, that's on you.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of the situation... I mean, I PvP a lot with other in-game PvPers sometimes, and I mean, it's like there's situations where we're like in a fight, and then there's a sniper in the background. So I think people are selling because of that, not really like you're dying to just one sniper.
I don't know. It's all a tactical thing, man. Like PvP is such a mental game, and there's so many things like snipe balance, which I don't think are overpowered because how I mentally approach snipe versus maybe how other people might. When I see a sniper in the back of the group, my first instinct is I'm going to get to the back of the group. Yeah. Not only to kill the sniper because he's an easy kill, but that's the safest place to be if I'm by myself.
Right.
And I think like a lot of people, they might sit there and watch the sniper kill them and not think I should move closer to him to make him stop or run away from me, or I should get out of his distance and stuff. And like the issue they're having is like more around them being new to PvP rather than snipe being OP. And that's common in lots of games, and especially ESO, not just with snipe. Lots of things have that happen. And I don't know, that's like when, you know, go and read the forums and you see people complaining about stuff and you're just like, this guy like maybe doesn't know that much about PvP.
Right. I mean,
you know,
well, the forums are a different story, I think.
Snipe is OP, it just kills me, and I'm like, you could roll or block or just move or whatever, or stand there and die.
What do you think about the werewolves then?
Yeah, okay, Wolf is legitimately like pretty broken right now. That's
okay, but is it broken because it's a werewolf, or is it broken because of the item sets like Crimson Twilight and Elysian? Right.
I think it's actually, I think it's a mix of things. I don't think it's Crimson Twilight. Honestly, that's not very good set. If you're fighting against a good player and you have Crimson on, you could have any other set there and it would probably do better for you. Crimson is great for mashing down a potato who will sit in your AoE. Like, I don't know, the fascination with Crimson is weird for me. I don't understand why people love that set. They're like, all of a sudden their favorite new dot set will heal them too, and it's best in slot. I don't know, man. It's good on some builds, but the amount of people running Crimson right now is not justified. I'll say that. On a werewolf, I can see it. It makes sense though. But I think it actually comes down to the werewolf heal, to be honest. I think hit point based heals in this game are incredibly strong and other ones are incredibly weak. There's a huge amount of imbalance between them. Warden hit point based heal and the werewolf hit point based heal are objectively way better than any of the other hit point based heals.
Right.
I'm missing one.
Let me think. Necromancer? Scythe?
Yeah, the Scythe is not bad.
As well.
Scythe has more limitation. You have to be right next to a target.
Right.
And you have to hit more than one to get heal out of it. Whereas like werewolf and warden heals, you just use them and you shoot up like half your health. It's insane.
I honestly find Stamdens and Stamcrows worse to handle than werewolves personally, in PvP at least. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I think that has to do with like going back to that whole passive healing and damage. Stamden and Stam Necro have a lot of passive healing and a lot of passive negative effect. Well, Necro does.
I like that.
Hey babe, and happy 7 months.
That's why I think they feel so strong right now. Just because today's meta is all about having that passive healing damage in order to be able to compete.
So you agree with the werewolf nerfs for next patch? For the most part.
Yeah, honestly, man, I would have nerfed their healing. I think that's where they should have been nerfed. The heal is too strong.
I don't think they should have nerfed the resistances. Like, what was it? They took off 10,000.
Like,
but then they capped Elysian order anyway, so it's like, what's the point? I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, man, I really think they should have just nerfed the heal and probably would have been okay. You watch, like, I watch a lot of werewolf gameplay, like 40k HP werewolf, and they get like a 20k howl, and it's just, there's no other heal in the game that's healing you 20k like that in one click. At least not on something as fucking beastly and chunky as a werewolf like that. Still able to do so much damage. Yeah, I don't know. I do think that werewolf definitely deserves some nerfs. We'll see how it plays in the new patch. Like, when it comes to balance and stuff, you can look at it from the outside, but we'll have to wait and see, really.
For sure, yeah. I haven't seen anyone test werewolf on PTS. And then there's the whole CP 2.0, which is even more of a headache when you think about stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of like the new system. I like how...
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love it too. It's
simplified it a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just...
It was like...
I don't know, like... sorry, go on.
I feel like there were a lot... there's a lot of options in the new system.
Right.
It's also very straightforward, where the old system, you had maybe fewer options, but it was a lot more convoluted, understanding what you really needed and didn't.
I mean, the biggest thing about CP 1.0, and it's kind of a misnomer because it's gone through a lot of changes too. Or I'll just call it CP 1.0, but it's very esoteric because there's jump points, and like players don't know about jump points. So I think the removal of jump points for the most part, and the fact that there's flat values now on CP 2.0 is going to be more of a big help for a lot of new players. Yeah.
Just more simplified, like, and I think also I like how they allowed the system to expand buildcraft a little bit more, and then there's the room for future expansion in the future. I think honestly, like, the new system will be cool. It'll be fun and it'll be good. It will need some balance for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm actually loving this system. I just don't like how many passive nodes there are, or how many points you need to put into certain passive nodes to unlock the passive nodes you need. That sort of plays into like how much CP you need to min-max.
What they could perhaps do, is like they maybe don't even have to remove the different passive nodes, because I know they want it to each represent like holistic balance, right? If you have penetration, you need to have a passive for armor or whatever. And think that it could make them, instead of costing 50 points for the bonus, cost 25 or 20 or 30. And then it would just level the playing field a lot more too, like we were talking earlier, for the power creep of the new system. If it costed you significantly less points to get all of those passives, then you don't have to have 2,500 CP, you know. Only need like 2k or less or whatever.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I guess going back to sort of tie the performance and also the fact that you've described PvP as a mental game, kind of tying them together, is what's your view on, you know, ball groups? Like
bomb group.
Well, ball groups.
Oh, ball group. Oh,
yeah, like organized PvP raids or groups.
I'm a solo player. Honestly, like, I don't play in a ball group because I wouldn't want to. But I respect it, man. If that's what people want to do and that's how they enjoy it, I understand. Cyrodiil is a large battlefield. A ball group is a successful team out there. It is a successful unit. And I don't know. I think when a lot of people are like, man, fuck that ball group, it's just because they can't break the ball group up. Ball groups' power as a unit is too strong and they can't stop it. It's frustrating. And I get that, because sometimes you just want to win all the time. But I look at that battle as one that I cannot win, and I'll just move on. I'll be like, okay, they're sticking together in a ball. There's fucking nothing I'm gonna do. If I get too close, they're gonna kill me. And that's like PvP. That's world PvP. If you're solo, there are things where you'll just die like that. I don't think it's bad that people play in groups like that. I would love to see the play style that is the best right now to perhaps change a little bit, where it's less about spamming your AoE of choice standing next to your friends and more about maybe using a little bit more intelligible stuff. But I'm not going to say ball group is unintelligible gameplay because it's very coordinated.
Oh, yeah, it's very coordinated. Right? Yeah, I mean, there's so much that people don't know
like,
that goes into...
Yeah, it's very, very different, you know, from... Especially like from your interpretation on the outside. I'm sure from the outside it can be like, damn, all these guys are spamming AoE. But they're coordinating it, you know? They're saying alt dump here and stuff. I get a little cheesed when I'm fighting against people and there's a ball group and they all alt dump me. And I'm just like, the fuck, guys? Like 10 of you. You don't need to do that.
Oh, man. Yeah. But I guess I'm also kind of referring to the controversy within the player base of ball groups, right? Like, because in the past, or you know, when there's ball groups fighting each other, that tends to cause quite a lot of lag.
Yeah, I can't blame the player for that, man. You know, ZeniMax created a PvP environment where the ball group is the most effective thing to win in this environment. They also created an environment where the ball group cannot play without running into serious performance issues. So it's not the player's fault that, you know, I feel like players getting mad at players over something that's out of everyone's control. So it's not really justified. I don't know. I can't like say it's their fault the servers are lagging. I can't say that ball groups go out there with the intent to ruin the server for everyone. They want a PvP too. It's just that the style of PvP that they like happens to be the least supported.
Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22 because, I mean, for sure, some of them know that they are lagging the server out, but, like, in order to win...
Some people do it intentionally, but I would say most...
Well, no, I'm not saying everyone does it. I'm just saying, like, no, I mean, I would say everyone's aware of how heavy the stress can be on the servers when groups clash, especially coordinated groups, spamming so much in such a short time frame. I'm not saying like they're evil or whatever, but I'm saying like it's a catch-22 because you want to win, but it's lagging, and in order to win in lag, you have to have more people. You know what I mean? Because the whole thing for me with the global AoE cooldowns is like that's not gonna deter ball groups because you're just gonna add more people because there's more actions per second with groups that have more people. It's a numbers game at that point. So it's kind of a catch-22. It's kind of shitty that, like you said, that there's this environment where people are kind of doing ball groups, but at the same time they need to also lag more to win more. It's messed up.
You know, it just, again, like, comes back to that performance being kind of the main issue underscoring a lot of the problems that we see in PvP, you know. I think if performance wasn't a big issue, you know, these ball groups would have more fun. And I do understand your point. You know, when the game starts lagging, numbers matter more than anything. And it's just, I don't know, man. In a perfect world, when the ball groups would clash, then it wouldn't lag. So they wouldn't have to pull in more players to win through the lag. And more players could just come in and play in other places instead of in the ball group, which would end up making people spread out more. I don't know. It's just it always comes back to that lag, man. I think like PvP in theory is so much better than in execution.
Right. What is it?
I like group gameplay though. I can't say that it's bad for PvP, and you know, Cyrodiil will always be about group gameplay. I think maybe some of us solo players forget it. Every now and then.
Yeah. It's kind of like what we talked about, the whole code right, earlier, like there's some sort of unwritten code, like you can't you get a 1vx, or like you can't interrupt these 1v1s you find on the door. You shouldn't be zerging down people.
Fuck that.
I know, but there's this like thing, right? Like you shouldn't zerg down people or whatever, or you know what I mean? Like I'm just like personally, I'm just like last minute here, people came to my stream all salty and shit, calling me a zergling. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'll zerg my fucking grandmother down for fucking double AV.
Right?
I don't give a shit, but you know, like we talked about earlier, it's whatever.
Oh, I get it, man. Okay, because I PvP, right? So everything I'm saying here is coming from myself.
Right.
Like I said, when I first started playing this game, I really cared about winning and losing. As time went on, I lost a whole bunch. I stopped caring because I realized I ain't gonna win them all, and that it's not important to care that much about it. I think when people have that attitude and they're like coming into a stream to be like, "Hey, why are you zerging me down?" Care a lot about winning and losing. They lost, so they're coming because they didn't like losing, and like that's it. You know, reasonable person ain't gonna give two flying fucks whether you killed them in the PvP zone or not. That's why you're both there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Someone loses PvP in ESO and they have to come PvP you in stream or something, that's on them. That's all on them. Yeah, and then like the whole like you know, not interrupting solo fights and stuff. When I PvP, I just don't attack people who don't want to attack me. That's really it. I'll just run around until people start shooting at me, and then I'll fight whoever starts fighting me, and that's how I like to do it. And that's not necessarily because I think it's because I'm a streamer, and I know some people like to watch the streamer, they know who I am, and they just want to say hi and stuff.
Okay.
If I wasn't a streamer, I would probably just attack anyone I saw. No matter how few, how many, don't care.
Well, I stream, and I still zerg people down.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I do it too.
The other day,
you just gotta kill.
The other day, by coincidence, I ran into an ex in Imperial City. Now I didn't know at the time, but I killed her in the group, and I teabagged them. so it's like, I don't know, whatever. It's just PvP. But yeah, that's my attitude.
Yeah, I mean, I have like regular viewers that have on occasion just decided today's the day they're gonna zerg me down, and they're friendly every other day, but today's the day, man. I don't know. It's just the game, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't really get mad when I lose. I don't really care that much. Like, it's exciting. I think in the moment everyone's like, "Oh my god," because your heart's going when you're in the fight, right?
Right.
But after it's done, and you just respawn and come back again. I'm always like, I always look at like, oh, where did I fuck up? Like, what could I have done differently? Maybe I wouldn't have died there. And I don't know. You got to have like a good attitude about it. I think that whole like the whole PvP thing where people get mad about interrupting fights and all this stuff. It's like, don't go into Cyrodiil then. Like, what are you doing in the world PvP zone if you fucking want to 1v1 people? Go hang out in Wayrest. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a self-importance that's like brought on to someone by themselves.
Yeah,
I tried to shed mine a long time ago. I was like, it doesn't matter.
I mean, I think that's a great attitude. Like, personally, when I came back to PvP, I was like, you know what? I don't mind dying. I don't mind losing. I don't mind losing this 1v1 over and over and over, as long as I'm learning from the player. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Like, you learn from mistakes. And
it's really frustrating though when you lose and it's not your fault, it's not your opponent's fault, it's the goddamn server.
We're back to performance.
That's when I get upset.
I get upset. I got really upset the other day. I was like,
I've turned off streams at like the end of a really good fight because everybody that we just killed couldn't break a stun, and I was like, fuck this, I'm done today. Just like, I can't even win with lag, man. I hate it so much. That's what kills the fun for me.
Oh man. Oh, while we're on this topic, and people are bringing it up in chat. What do you think about the whole teabagging thing? The fact that you can.
Oh, I mean,
right. Get banned.
I get teabagged a lot as a content creator.
Right.
That's what I know.
I think I
don't know, man.
The rule is like you can't, like, if someone asks you to stop teabagging them, you shouldn't. And that's a new code of conduct, basically. One of the new code of conduct points. Like if someone asks you, yeah, you didn't know about this? This was a huge thing. This was an update to the code of conduct. You had no idea. Okay, Christopher.
Now, hey.
All right. Well, it's not harassment, but like I gotta look for the code.
Get banned for bagging.
No, you don't get banned for bagging. It's like it's in the same line as like if you keep whispering someone and they ask you to stop, you should stop. Or like if you're teabagging someone in PvP, and they ask you to stop, you should probably stop. But then they said like, oh, every case is gonna be looked at within context of the situation.
Yeah. And
a lot of people got like really, how should I say, riled over that code of conduct update. So you didn't know about it, I guess. Like, what do you think about it now?
I didn't. I'm just learning now. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, how do I put it? Doesn't matter what you do. Someone's going to teabag you in life somewhere. It might not be the action of being teabagged in a video game, but it's the equivalent of it, and it's going to fucking happen. So if you're just going to get bent out of shape every time someone fucking teabags you, then, well, enjoy your life getting bent out of shape every time someone makes you upset.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, it says a lot about the person who's bagging you. They could be doing it just for a lol for themselves. That literally could be like what they just do for fun, is try to piss people off. I don't know. I take it as a compliment, man. I usually get teabagged after I kill a whole bunch of people. Yeah. And then one of the person I killed respawns, comes out and teabags me. And it's like, good stuff. It's just the game. You can't avoid it. If they couldn't teabag you, they'd do something else, /sweep on your body. And if they take that away, they'll /shovel your body. If they take that away, /sit chair, and so on, so on. It's a person problem, not really a game problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna go back
Ever
to
played COD? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Call of Duty or Halo, or honestly anything so competitive. Like, I don't know if you encountered this problem. We kind of talked about the whole thing about. We didn't talk about it yet. We kind of touched on it very briefly, but is there like any case where you feel like the PvP community is seen as or perceived as toxic? Because this happens a lot with the PvE endgame community.
I like that.
That we're all toxic elitists or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, see, I'm not a drama guy. I don't really like worry about a lot of that stuff. My perception.
Well, it's not really about drama, right? It's about like other people's perception.
I don't know. I guess I just like.
Right.
Yeah, I don't hear about it. I don't know. You know, from my perception of PvP endgame, we have a really good community. Like, especially the content creators and stuff. They're very friendly with each other, and you know, none of us are out there maliciously trying to do anything bad. There's no real people in the community that are super malicious either in PvP. I mean, we've had our bad apples, but man, it's been a good showing for most of the years. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't feel like people perceive PvP players as toxic. That being said, I don't really ask, and as a PvP player myself, I probably don't have a good idea of how someone else might perceive me. Maybe, I don't know. I always try to be nice, and the other PvP players that I see, at least in streams and stuff, are nice, and always got like one or two guys in game that are going to be trouble, but
yeah,
it's more a person problem, just like teabagging. Yeah, it's pretty nice, man. Like, people are usually pretty cool. I can't like think of any just terrible toxic environment that I've really been in.
That's fair. I mean, I agree with you.
Duel enough. I imagine dueling would have a little more.
Okay, so this has been actually, oh my god, I love talking with you, by the way. It's not the wine talking. This is me talking. All right, so
Are you sure?
yeah, I'm sure I'm not hitting on you. All right. Anyway, there's actually been some recent controversy with some well, actually a fair amount of PvPers with recent dueling tournaments or dueling tournament roles. I've noticed, I've actually casted.
All right, fill me in.
Well, okay, so Shirley said that Sally was fucking using siphoner or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so basically, I've actually had to cast for, and it was a great privilege to cast for like legend dueling tournaments, other dueling tournaments, with the boys or Fight Club, and I've never seen you sign up, or I've never actually seen you at these dueling tournaments. So are you just not into 1v1ing? What's your opinion on dueling?
No, not really. No.
You don't like 1v1ing?
Okay.
Dueling?
I don't get much out of a 1v1, and I mean, I don't really need to go do a tournament.
Would you ever do it?
Or anything?
Would you ever cast one or something? Like maybe even just as a.
Yeah, I actually made Legend way back.
Oh, you made
my
Legend.
old guild.
You found it. You were the original founder.
It was, yeah.
Because I remember Legend when Fang Rush and Cypher.
Since I handed it to Cypher.
Oh, okay. So you were the one who handed the Cypher. Okay.
I
wasn't
pretty
really
much built like Legend from the ground up, and then I was in school at the time, and Cypher was starting his ESO career, and I was like, man, you want to take over the guild? He was my number 2 at the time.
Right.
So
that's pretty cool.
Ended up being great for him, and you know what? It's not like I could have done anything with the guild either. So
Why did you pass? Oh, I guess because you were busy, right? I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I was taking nursing at the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Learning to. It was not cool.
It wasn't cool. Well, okay, I guess, is it cool now? I mean, I guess you're more busier than ever with the whole COVID pandemic.
I'm not a nurse, and there's nothing cool about working in a hospital.
Yeah. Hopefully you've been staying safe.
I did 2 years, and after my second year, I had because you could do an LPN or RN. One's a 2-year course, one's a 4-year. I was talking to the lady, and she's like, well, you could do like a couple months of courses and just do your LPN instead of your RN. And I was like, I want to work in a hospital. So I just went a totally different route.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, yeah.
It's off topic.
Yeah, okay. I did not know this, that you were the one who founded Legend. But are you still in the guild, or did you leave?
No, like I said, I used to care a lot about winning. I got all bent out of shape with like one person way back then, and decided I need to take a break from that, and I just never got back into it. The guy that I was in the wrong too way back then, and he doesn't even play anymore. But
okay,
I don't know. I love casting and stuff. If I ever came back for that kind of stuff, I would just cast tournaments. I just have no interest in like
actually participating,
competing, or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like, I feel like for me, 1v1ing is more about improving myself more so than kind of just winning a tournament.
Yeah, me too. And like, this might sound really shitty, but like, I don't feel like there's a ton I can learn from a 1v1 anymore. That's a big reason why I play so much solo.
Now, does that have to do with the meta of certain things like proc sets, or just your?
No, I PvP too much.
Okay.
1v1 is an incredibly boring fight.
Okay. Basically a god. You're basically a god.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, I know.
Like, I've been there. I fought all the 1v1s. I'm done with it. I want 2v1 now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's not even that I'd win. I lose lots of 1v1s too in open world all the time. It's just not as fun because there's not as much going on.
So, like, when you look at these dueling tournaments, do you, like, agree with, like, a lot of these rules, I guess? I mean, I guess there has to be rules, right, with these dueling tournaments? Because
I can't comment too much because I don't do a lot of dueling. Back when I did a lot of it, I was more involved in the rule set, like back when I was in Legend and stuff.
Right.
And we didn't actually have a rule set back then at all. was just like respect rules and stuff. And now they have all these, like, you can't use certain sets and whatever. Personally, if I was to be in that scene again, I wouldn't want any restrictions.
Really?
I would want no restriction dueling.
None at all.
Could.
Not even
I would just
no
create,
siphoner or werewolf or
yeah, everything goes.
wow.
And I would just create a rule set where you get in a situation where two opponents can't kill each other, doesn't do good for either of them in the rule set. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But then what if you have people saying, "Oh, that's too cheesy. He'll win anyway," or whatever.
That's up to them, man. I don't know. I've PvP'd a long time. You can fight against cheese and stuff, and I don't know, man. From my experience, cheese doesn't win, top tier fights. Top tier fights are won by top tier players.
Okay.
And
you
can only go so far.
I think you are actually the second person in the endgame PvP community to tell me that there should be no rules, which is actually pretty cool because everyone else usually said there should be rules. I can see both perspectives. I can see both perspectives though.
Unless, I don't know, it's kind of silly because like you're saying we're going to see who is the best at this game,
right?
But then you're adding all of these rules. You can't use this. And one of the biggest things I hate in duels is no kiting.
No kiting?
There's no terrain. You fight open field. Who the fuck fights like that normally? Nobody. Nobody fights like that. Makes no sense. And that's like, there's so many of like rules and stuff. If I was to have like a dueling tournament, man, you can use what you want. You can use the skills, whatever you want. And you fight in an arena with terrain, not just gonna fight in an open field.
Yeah, that sounds.
When you have like an open field, you benefit one play style, right? Not another. You can't play like kite style in an open field on anything but a Nightblade, for example. If your opponent has a gap closer, your style is gone now.
Man.
And yeah, I think
maybe you should host a tournament again.
Out there, man,
you know what I mean?
Really good players, but I would love to see them pick it up a notch. Not hide behind a rule set. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. That'd be cool. Maybe you can. I don't know. Like I know you don't want to, but in the future, maybe someone where you can.
I don't really want to throw a tournament, man.
You don't want to host a tournament?
Oh, it's a lot of work. I used to, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's stressful and.
Yeah.
Things go wrong and
or people show up fucking late. That's the most annoying part. People showing up late or not showing up at all. Jesus Christ. You have to remake the brackets.
Yeah.
Or wait
I would
for
have
people
rules,
to
like
remake
if
the
you don't
brackets.
show up by like this time, you're DQ'd.
Yeah. But that'd be cool to see some sort of dueling arena with line of sight, trees and rocks. And that's possible now with the housing system, right?
Yeah.
That's
I think like today's if you look at like today's dueling environment, it has a very poor representation of what a real fight looks like, is a good way to put it.
Right.
It's not a representation of a real fight. It's like a staged fight. It's like a show fight. I don't know. That's why I always like World PvP. It's just so like, remember that mental game that I told you about, how PvP is such a big mental game. When you do like a duel, it's just, if you're not using terrain and everything, you just take so much away from that.
Yeah, I remember watching the open world duels that Legend and other guilds hosted. That was pretty cool to watch. Although I think at the time when I was watching it, there was a rule where you shouldn't line up sight. I think that was like the start. That was like the start.
Yeah, no, that's always been in there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You know what I think?
What do you think?
Like my thought of like where this originated from in the game, why you shouldn't line of sight. Because if you look at like the game now, it doesn't make sense to say don't line of sight in a duel, because there's so many playstyles that are not just benefiting from, but reliant on using line of sight to be successful. Back at the beginning, when we started Legend and everything, everybody played a Mag DK.
Right.
No gap closer, no movement speed bonus, slow, powerful. So they didn't want to fight anyone that would kite them.
That is true. They
did not, because they couldn't touch them. And that was frustrating. Therefore, let's add a rule so they can't kite anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
And that's like where dueling has led to now. I'm like, every single one of these like concessions and rules comes back to someone being like, I'm frustrated that playstyle is beating the meta that I like to use. So let's find other people that use the same style as me and get them to agree on excluding that from our dueling. And instead of just like, fuck, slot a gap closer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like losing the fight and then changing the rule set so you don't lose next time instead of changing what you're doing. Gerrymandering. Anyway.
So we also touched on something else earlier that we didn't really get into. I kind of briefly mentioned it in passing when we were talking about performance. But what do you think about the whole cross-healing thing? Because they are gonna revert that. That you can't... So right now you can't heal anyone outside of your group or heal someone else if you're not in group with them. But they're gonna revert that because they said that they saw very little performance gain from doing that, which is surprising to me because, you know, like I've always thought personally for the longest time, and I'm not the only one. Like I think like Fang Rush and other people have also thought this for the longest time. Like cross healing between big groups or cross healing between people cause a lot of lag, but apparently it doesn't, which is really surprising. It's kind of jarring.
No, if you actually like break it down, like if you think about the calculation of, let's say, putting damage across a group of people versus putting a heal across a group of people, when you put the heal down, you don't have to calculate any of their armor or damage reduction. So that's like a huge swath of calculations that are just omitted. As if you're calculating damage, all of that becomes part of the calculation now. So maybe that's why it didn't have as big an impact.
Okay. Yeah, what do you think about
I'm just guessing, man. Like honestly, I have no idea. I don't code the game, so.
So what's your opinion on the whole cross-healing thing? Do you like it? Do you think it's positive, negative for the game? Do you ever get annoyed when you're like...
heal each other? I don't see why that's bad.
Oh, okay. Do you ever get annoyed when someone's like healing you and you're trying to 1vX or something?
Do I get annoyed when I'm trying to 1vX and someone makes it easier? No.
No, someone heals you. I didn't say easier. I said someone heals you. I don't know. I'm just like bringing up random scenarios, you know.
Okay, a place where I would personally find a lot of healing annoying is when they're healing each other and I'm trying to kill somebody.
Okay.
In which case, that's just good group tactic, and I need to make the choice to target the healer then, instead of the guys they're healing. You know, or kill the guy fast enough that the healer can't get to him. There's all kinds of things you can do. Stun the healer, put the finishing blow on the other guy, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't say that healing is bad for PvP. I think that, you know, I like the idea of healing your teammates. I think that's very important. It's always about like finding that balance point though. And with the next patch coming in, healing power is going to be better than it is now. So we'll see, at least in PvP it will be. Because everyone's going to have higher base weapon damage than they used to and spell damage. And they're going to get the 10% healing bonus on top.
Also, I believe higher base health.
I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes in the new patch, whether it's overdone.
Yeah. But then that kind of plays into how many CP they also have. That's a little weird.
Yeah, definitely. With the new CP tree, you can crank up healing way higher than you used to be able to.
Okay.
Like 25% healing bonus now, I think, if you put all your points in the trees for some of your heals, because some of them count as an AoE, some of them count as a damage over time, or a heal over time, as well as the AoE. So you can stack like an insane amount of healing power in the new PTS, whereas the damage component to match that isn't as high. So I do think healing will be better next patch, so it'll be interesting to see how it works with people being able to heal each other again.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is another we have to wait and see, I think. I like your outfit, though.
My outfit? What outfit? What outfit? What outfit? Which outfit?
The one on your guy.
Oh no, this is a polymorph
Character.
Yeah, it's a polymorph.
No, I like your hoodie, man. That's what
you like my hoodie? Thanks, dude. I was like, what the hell?
Did you buy? I want to get like 3.
You want to get 3, dude? Yeah, you can get it. It's Amazon or something. But yeah,
it's just one of those online shopping services. I'll figure it out.
You can check Amazon. They probably haven't. Well, hold on, what is it? All right, so there's. I guess this is the last question from me, and I guess anyone in chat can ask some questions before we end the podcast or stream or 1v1 on.
Can I actually take just 2 minutes, real quick? I gotta run downstairs.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. But anyway, guys, this is the one-on-one podcast session with Christopher ESOU. Just kind of learning who he is, what he thinks about certain stuff. If you don't know who he is the main, I would say, like, probably the biggest PvP content creator right now for ESOU. He has almost 35,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's a Twitch partner, and he's honestly the only one who's been keeping up with a lot of PvP content. Every single patch, he's even done. He took over the top 5, top 10 PvP plays that Lefty Lucy started a while back. He's a founder of Legend, which is the oldest dueling tournament on PC North America. He's a builder too, like a ESO builder. But yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up the one-on-one session with. Yeah, he's also known as Jack Daniels, but he mainly goes by Christopher now, or Christopher ESOU. If you have any questions for Christopher, you can post in Twitch chat, and I can ask him the questions. Otherwise, thanks for listening in. This is the 6th episode of the ESOU podcast. Thanks for listening in, thanks for watching, and so forth. And yes, I'll be doing a giveaway after this, and then we'll be going to Imperial City.
Sorry.
Welcome back. Oh, I already asked that, Ce-Nex.
Okay.
All right.
So,
my last question, and then we can take. Oh, you're gonna ask me a question?
No.
Oh, okay. You're like, all right, Nephis. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the question. But anyway, my last question for you. All right. What is the greatest piece of advice you would give to someone who wants to get involved in PvP, who's like, fresh to PvP?
Man, have fun. Go in there and just try it. Don't expect to win. Give it a shot. Getting a proper build will go a long way as well. Yeah. I think initially jump into PvP as soon as possible and try it. Just, give it like the old college try. Don't just die once and be like, okay, that's enough. Give it a few shots. Go see if you like it. I think PvP becomes an insane amount of fun when you involve yourself in it. Mm-hmm. But the idea of involving yourself in it as a newer player can be a little bit intimidating.
Okay.
So just like diving in there is probably like the biggest piece of advice. Just give it a shot. Don't feel like, oh, I need to get to a higher level. Oh, I need this. I need that. You can jump in at any level. You can jump into like level 10. At level 10 into the no CP campaign and stuff, and that would be like number one, is just give it a shot. Don't be afraid to try it. There is a place for you to PvP regardless of where you're at in the game. And then from that point on, get yourself a proper build, explore your character or different classes, explore the abilities you like. Go out there and look at the different play styles. There's so much you can do in PvP. You can have options in PvP that you just never even had in PvE before. So I think that's like really it. Go out there, try it, and then find out what you like and put a proper spec together. And that's really it. You just keep doing that and you'll have fun forever. Unlimited amounts of fun.
Okay.
I think it's just that initial hump though, for PvP. Some people are just like, I don't know if this is really for me, and go in there and give it a shot, and then you'll know.
Yeah. Where is it? Got a question from chat. So, a lot of PvP content creators in the past and recently as well have, especially, I think I've seen some videos from, I don't know if you know the other PvP content creators like Is There No One Else, or NES, ESO, and so forth. But a lot of PvP content creators have been wanting more PvP focused content, like you know how PvEers get DLC dungeons, zones. What's your like? Do you want more PvP focused content? Like I don't know, I guess like a separate zone in Imperial City. I guess Battlegrounds was the last update after Imperial City. Do you think that's enough at the moment? Like or do you think there should be more?
Hey, thank you for the gift sub, Midnight. Appreciate it, man. Just had a huge brain fart. Sorry, ask the question again. I was reading something in chat.
No problem. So
someone pinged me and asked a really long question.
What is it? Okay, sorry, I lost my train of thought too.
You asked about
PvP focused content. Do you want any? What kind of content would you like to see?
As someone who's PvP'd a long time, I think I have a tapered expectation. I don't care for new content. What I want is working PvP.
Working PvP. Okay.
Yeah. I think they should fix what they already have before they worry about giving PvP players more content. I think if they did push content right now, it would just be broken. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're also against any additions to Cyrodiil as well? Because some ideas have popped up in the past, like, oh, there should be some sort of, like...
I mean...
caravan system.
I'm not against additions to Cyrodiil. I just think performance should be prioritized before that.
Yeah, I also agree on that one.
It would be cool to see some new things for sure. In fact, I think Cyrodiil probably might be better off if it was like a third the size that it is right now.
Third the size? That's a pretty small Cyrodiil.
I think with like how laggy it is when the campaign is full and how difficult it still is during that laggy campaign to sometimes find fights. I don't know, man. Cyrodiil is... I feel like they've been slowly bringing the total population of it down. It feels a little emptier now than it used to in the past. I feel like the zone feels too big sometimes. Especially during this event, man. I've been on some servers where they're almost pop-locked and I'm riding around for like 45 plus minutes to find one guy.
And you don't find anyone?
Yeah.
Where are these people?
Like, I know. That's what I'm saying.
45
I even went to the
minutes
towns to see if they were PvEing. And I don't know. Like maybe it's just me. I feel like the servers feel a little smaller. I would love to see Cyrodiil fixed though. Like primarily Cyrodiil running smoothly. Then they can add new things. Whatever they need to do to make it run though.
What are your thoughts on the companion system? Skyra asked.
Campaigning system? Like
companion system.
Oh, the companion system.
Yeah,
that
the one that's
adding.
coming out with.
It's not going to be in PvP, right?
So I believe they said like they said something along the lines of maybe not adding it to PvP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like,
no,
maybe not. What do you mean maybe not?
They add like companions. If they add companions to PvP, PvP will be very uncompetitive. Very uncompetitive. I don't know how good or bad these companions will be, man, but an additional body block, I'm going to assume,
and you can
additional free damage for doing nothing.
And you can gear them up too.
Uncompetitive.
You can gear them up too. That's the thing.
Yeah, that just screams uncompetitive gameplay, man.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll add it to PvP, and if they do, I think it would be a big mistake.
I hope not. That sounds awful. I think they're gonna add. I think they're gonna add it to 4-man content, 4-man dungeons, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. I wouldn't mind that because dungeons are too hard for me.
What?
You know,
no,
my Malakath band is like, you need to take me off for these things. Yeah. I would take a companion. I wouldn't put the Malakath band on him then, and then we'd be set.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like them adding new systems, but I am wary about how they can impact PvP too. This one, I think ZeniMax will not add. I would be surprised if they put this in
I'd
PvP.
be terrified if they try to add it to PvP.
Yeah. You know, with ZeniMax, they're really unpredictable. You never know what they're gonna do sometimes.
I mean, I found it mostly predictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. But every now and then, there's like, you remember Scalebreaker, right?
Which one? Which part of Scalebreaker? The biggest part was for me the
Remember
one
when
orb,
they're
one
like, "Hey,
string.
all dots should deal 60% more damage than they used to."
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, that was stupid. But
every now and then, man, they surprise the shit out of us. So.
okay, that's one thing. But at the same time, like you said earlier, or not said, but you kind of implied earlier, and I agree with it too. Like they don't really think like players. You know what I mean? They don't think like you and me. Like, okay, this set came out, or whatever thing came out, or this has been introduced to the base game system. How do I exploit this?
It's true.
How do I abuse the shit out of this? I feel like they don't really think like players most of the time, and that's a big mistake when we're talking about
they don't.
balance.
This one, I think it's really obvious. At least.
Yeah, I mean there are obvious
it's
ones,
really obvious
but
that
yeah.
Companion would be fucking broken in PvP.
Oh yeah, I mean.
At least. Yeah. That would be a massive short sight.
That's like, what is that? Like 5 pet Sork build, dude. You got the companion, you get the matriarch, you got the scamp, you got the mob inferno, and you got the storm
Companion
metro.
to have pets too.
Your companion with pets.
You put the fucking Daedroth set on him. You put the Ravager, whatever, the one that summons the Defiler, and you're set, man. More
That's
cooled in
hilarious.
just for fun. Yeah.
All right, I think we got one more question, and that'll be it. I don't know if anyone else has any questions for you. What's your thoughts about mauls and maces in the upcoming patch for PvP? I guess.
Mauls and maces, like the changes to them?
Yeah.
The changes to CP, honestly, I think it'll probably be good. Having tested damage on the PTS in PvP, at least, versus on live, it feels better.
Okay.
Versus the player, and I think the reason is because the live CP, you have like an additional damage but canceled out by your opponent's CP effect, and on the PTS everybody's damage is amplified further than their defenses are amplified on the PTS, so net damage will be higher against the player. Let me just reiterate that. I know PvE is a different story, and that's because that flat 20% damage increase in PvE had a massive impact because it wasn't being scaled back by the champion points in PvP to reduce that damage increase, right? So I know people who are doing dungeons and stuff, they're saying their DPS is much lower, but in PvP, I think relatively it'll feel a little better.
Yeah, I think overall maces and mauls have been buffed.
Yeah, so they'll still be good. Like for PvP, they're still best in slot damage, I think. Unless you use onslaught.
All right. I guess this is the last question is from me. All right, what do you think about my build, Christopher? 5 Crimson Twilight, 1 Bloodspawn, 1 Malakath, and 5 Unfathomable Darkness with Master Dual Axis.
I mean, you know, it'll carry you through. You're missing the double dot poison on the front bar there.
Yeah, I know.
Past that, man. Stuff. Are you a DK?
Yeah, I'm a DK. I'm trying to get Grand Overlord on this guy.
Sustain is certain. You're not going to be able to PvP on that for very long.
What, the proc sets?
Just your sustain, your stam recovery is way too low.
Well, how high do you think it should be? It's 1029 with Serpent. I mean,
for PvP?
Yeah, 1029 stam recovery.
You're in heavy or?
This is heavy. This is 5 heavy Crimson.
And I would have like 1.5 to 2k if you could.
Well,
go a really long way for long.
Yeah, maybe. I'll try that. I'll try re-enchanting.
What are you running?
What am I running?
Yeah.
5 Crimson on body, 1 Bloodspawn head.
No,
5
food.
Oh, food. Bewitched.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What are you in no CP or something? Why are your stats so low, man? Explain yourself.
What? I'm in Riven Spire, dude. Let me pour it in. Yeah, it's like
I don't know. It seems solid. You're sustained. You could use some more sustain for sure. If you're running all those proc sets, your base damage has very little impact on your total outgoing damage, if that makes sense. Because those are amplified just by penetration and stuff. So just drop weapon damage for sustain is fine.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking.
If you need it. I would also like maybe run a Zorga Smoke Bear Haunch instead. Egg recovery can be really nice on a DK.
Oh god, I don't even have it. I don't even remember what the stats are. It's like health recovery and stam. No.
It's max health and all regens.
But then that would have.
I know you just wanted to show me the grossness of your proc build. I mean,
I know. I'm just fucking around.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. All right. Well, yeah. I guess that's all the questions we have for you today. And thanks so much for talking with me and sharing with us your thoughts on everything. Is there something you'd like to add?
Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. Thanks for taking the time every day, dude. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't really have anything going on in my brain.
Oh, I do. Make sure you guys check out Christopher ESOU on both Twitch and YouTube. Because it's pretty good PvP content. And like I said earlier, well, you're like the premier content creator for PvP at the moment. As far as I know.
Yeah, I guess.
You're like the biggest one for PvP.
There's no YouTuber that does as much as I do, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ESOU YouTubers that are out there too. The top 5 has been really awesome for
oh, I love watching
entire
those.
ESOU PvP community.
Yeah, I love watching those.
There's been a lot of like people. Yeah, there's been a lot of people that, like, for example, didn't have channels, and then they started sending me clips for the top 5, and I always give them shout outs, and they just like use the top 5 to help them grow their channel, and I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, check out my stuffs.
Yeah, make sure you do it.
You guys like PvP,
right now.
You might like it. I had a website too.
Oh, you have a website? I didn't know this. What? Where's your website?
Builds and stuff on it. Here, I'll link for everybody.
Let me Google it. Oh, it's like the first result. That's what you want. What? I didn't know about this
that's
website.
Good to hear.
Are you also have a Patreon, Twitter, Twitch? All right.
You can check out all that garbage there.
Better than our website. Goddamn. Oh,
is it?
Yeah.
Building a website is total ass. It's the worst thing ever. There's nothing fun about it.
What? Keeping up a website?
Don't believe anything people tell you. Oh, that looks so clean, man. Go back to yours.
Keeping up a website? Wait, what were you saying about don't believe people?
Don't believe people that it's fun.
Oh, website. Oh, dude, I fucking hate website work. And you know, it's so tedious. It's so tedious. So tedious. But yeah, I do this better than
everything takes way more time than you think it would.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. Like a lot of people who reach out to me, hey, how can I start making videos on YouTube, or how do I get started? I show them what I do, and they're like, yeah, I don't have the time. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have the time either. But you know, I try to min-max my schedule. Fuck. But yeah.
This is part of the site I want to still build here.
Coming soon.
My goal was to feature other content creators here, just like exclusively people that are interested in being featured on my site. Pretty much, probably lots of PvP guys, but I wanted to feature some PvE stuff too, if I could.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a lot of work to do all this stuff. Do you do your website alone, or do you have people help you with it?
I have wonderful people helping with it. I'm just like a monkey, and they're the devs, and I just provide content. Along with the other wonderful people in the server, in the ESOU server.
Maybe one day. be famous enough like you, and someone will do my website for me.
Oh God, it's laborious. It's laborious.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
fun,
matter.
Though. I don't know. Yeah. I'm happy I did it.
Yeah, it's good.
Fuck, dude.
But it's a lot of
much
work. It's a lot of work. People don't realize.
Yeah.
But the website looks
to
pretty
update that top 5 slider. Not doing well there. We're on like episode 81 or something.
81 episodes. The last one I watched was like 72, I think. Yeah, this one.
50. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this one. Okay, I gotta catch up on these. Yeah.
That one was pretty popular, man. People like weird builds. They always do really well. If you guys are ever thinking about sending in a top 5, send in a weird build doing well. That's like almost a guaranteed win.
What do you consider as a weird build besides the stats?
Anything you don't normally see. 55k HP damage builds.
Something I don't normally see. A mag.
Does he have bone shield on this? I don't even remember. This was so long ago. Just the DK hit point shield.
This is the one with bone
Look
shield.
At the
this is the one with
lag on that Liko. Beautiful.
What was I saying?
Yeah, man, he's doing some beefy damage for.
I mean, that's
how many
ridiculous.
He has. It's pretty.
Oh, look at that lag.
3k doesn't seem like a massive amount, but when he gets them dotted up, he actually puts the hammer in.
This is from PS4, I remember. Yeah, this PS4.
Yeah.
But
yeah, man. I recently played a max health Templar myself, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, I checked in on that one. I was like, what the heck is he doing?
Oh, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Good. It was, you give up a bit of damage for going that max HP. I was still like a medium armor damage build. Just tons of hit point stacking. And then whatever damage I lost, you could make up for by reflecting it with blazing shield and stuff. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed that a lot. I don't know, that's like the fun part of this game. This is like why I loved doing the top 5s personally, because when we do these, or when I do these, I get so many ideas from people,
Yeah.
Stealing all their ideas. Secretly why I do the top 5.
All right, everyone, send your worst
people are
builds.
They have so many ideas.
Yeah.
Here's a good example too. Look how he's using the DK hit point based heal, and it's not shooting him right back up to full health. Use it like 3 times in a row there. That was the werewolf or the warden's hit point based heal. He would have healed in 1 skill that amount of healing power. And that's why I said earlier, I think the werewolf is so, like, their heal is so busted. There's no other hit point based heal is near as good.
Arguably Stamden.
Warden 1's close, but
yeah.
Right?
I said arguably Stamden.
Yeah.
Man, this
it could be Mag or Stamden, to be honest. Look at how chunky he is.
I know.
Oh my fucking god.
50, almost 50 KO.
He didn't. Okay, he should have used his ult so much earlier. This guy's got a ball sack.
Not just that, he didn't cast the Igneous before the heal. Could have get major mending.
Yeah, I know, but like it was super risky. Is my point. And he just like goes for it.
It's ballsy.
Yeah, man. It's an interesting build. I love seeing that kind of stuff. Then of course there was the Sikaar bomb. Do you remember that one?
I actually saw it pop up in my notifications. I didn't watch it yet. You know what? While we have you here, let's watch it together. Let's watch. Hold on, let me look for it right now. Let's see.
Watch the first. It's the first clip. It is so fucking good.
Where is it? Yeah, here it is. This one. Yeah. I kind of watched some of it. I think.
Yeah.
They're all. Yeah, this is the Volendrung one, right? All right.
Yeah. It's like this is the best Volendrung wipe ever. Show me a better one.
Show you a better one? I'll show you a better. I'll show you a better one. I'll show you a better one. I'll show you a better one after this.
At hotmail.com.
Wait, you gotta watch this one first, though.
I'll watch it.
And he is bringing us an insane fight with the
he
hammer. He goes around the corner. The blue Zerg just chases him. And he goes into
They gets another one.
Oh, man.
sucking all the players into it. And he kills almost the entire Zerg right off the bat, building
Jesus.
more than enough ultimate to go right back into the hammer again. And he just
right?
spins on the next bit of the
It's
group
like
here. They
actually
kind of
third
backed
one.
away, and
Oh
the blue
my
players
God.
frantically trying to pick up their players. Sakaar easily able to build
when
the
I
ultimate
titled it,
for the third
I was like,
hammer
it's a
spin.
clickbait title, but it's
Wow.
not clickbait
Just
at all.
like that,
No, this is
he
a server,
actually
dude.
entire group
That's like 50 people.
a 141k kill. Never. Now moving on to our next fight.
Oh, it's
we
like
have
the
got
greatest.
Solaris
That's the
bringing
greatest
us
thing
some
ever.
stamina
I love
to
There
it
was
so
one
much.
Annie I recorded.
Outside a resource here, a bunch of blue players come charging in, and
hold on.
Solaris just quickly runs into the tower.
Okay, show me your. I want to see these Volendrung wipes now. Now I'm looking forward
Right
to
away
it.
stunning Solaris. Solaris
Alright, hold
responding
on.
with the purge, removing the snare as well as the dots, and then going into his dizzy, into the Dawnbreaker, and an executioner, putting big damage into that guy to finish him, and right away jumping on top of the next one. This guy's trying to work the guard. Solaris
Okay, I found it.
from behind, hits him with the jabs,
Alright.
Ready.
finish him
So it's
right
not from
on
my
top
first.
of the
I mean,
next
I didn't have it.
jabs
I
as
had it
well.
before this, but
Poke him
then
down too.
Annie
Now
picked it up.
Solaris is going to start working his way down as the blue players start to
Where is it? Yeah, this is what you want, dude. This is what you want. Oh shit.
Okay.
So
Better
you see
send
that?
this for the top 5 then if it's
So we go in. I Dragon Leap when he Volendrungs, and I gotta dip out because I'm fucking dying, dude. I'm fucking dying. And I think we go back in. Look at the bodies, dude. He does it again.
okay, but
I think Annie clipped it on his end, maybe. Yeah, dude, and then we
my
just wipe
God.
him.
Dude, Volendrung is so much fun.
I know,
Look at how
Volendrung
great
is so
this
cool.
weapon is.
You know, they said they're gonna add more shit like that. I hope the next one's as fun as Volendrung. Wait, there's another dude.
That was actually an awesome wipe, man. That was pretty sweet.
And then this guy, dude, towards the end, he just, just comes in. It's like, oh, he just sees the dead body, he just gives up. He just stops walking. What the? I don't know why he came
It
in.
looked like he was maybe on a necro tank.
Yeah, he
You
was
guys
on
just,
necro
like,
tank,
really
and then he
through
just
the heel.
dropped block. I'm like, what the fuck?
The other day, I actually killed someone through their resto ult, like with a burst.
Really? That's rare.
That's healing.
That's as rare as when people go into remembrance and shit. I got one kill like that the other day when he was already low.
Always nice when you can actually like kill them through their heals. Pretty cool. Anyway, all right, man. I'm gonna let you go. I gotta get cracking here.
All right. Thanks for everything.
Pleasure.
Thanks for your time. And I'll PM you about. I'll PM you something after the stream. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you everybody for hanging out.
Yep. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you guys. Yeah. Thanks for the shout outs. Thanks for Christopher. Make sure you check him out on Twitch, YouTube, and his website that we just found out about.